Happy New Year. This is the perfect time. I feel honored that you guys are here with me today because it's a big day. It's a big planning day, and it's a great way to start off your new year with a really clear intention. And so I hope by the end of this presentation, this talk, that you will have a really clear idea of what you want to do in 2016 and psych yourself up to have a really great year. And I'm really excited about this one. Also, I hope that you've taken some time to think about 2015. And that's what really inspired this webinar in the first place, was that you know that I love vision books. If you're new to Sweet Spot Style, that's one of my tools. I'm going to talk about that. And I always at the end of the year look over my vision book for that year and kind of reassess and think about my challenges, think about what worked. And I really encourage, if you haven't done that, to go ahead and spend some time doing that and document that, because we can learn a lot from that. So if something didn't work, it's not that you have to feel bad. It's like, well, why didn't that work? Is it a good thing that didn't work, or do I need to reassess, and do I need to add that in for this year? What can I do this year to make that happen? And of course, there's always stuff that comes up. Somebody gets sick, a parent gets ill, you know, you have an adoption in your family, you get a new dog, you know, there's things that always pop up, and that's okay. Sometimes things take a little bit longer, but the main thing is that we stay on track. So I'm just going to check in here, and I think that everything is going well still. So I'm going to now try to screen share. So just 1 second as I go over here to the screen share button, and I'm going to go to the presentation. So it's going to look a little bit funny for just a minute, but don't worry. I think we're going to be okay. And present to everyone. Okay, so let me get to my presentation. And just let me know in the chat if you see this presentation that says Manifest with Ease, because sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just kind of going to wait for just a second and make sure that you guys can see the same thing that, that I'm seeing on my screen. And while we're waiting, oh yeah, it looks like it's working. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Great. Do you like my my new presentation style? I'm really into these presentations. I like to make them pretty, so I hope that you enjoy it. All right, so if you're just tuning in, this is Manifest with Ease. This webinar will be less than an hour. There's a chat box. Put your name in, say hello, tell us what your intention is for 2016. If you have a word of the year, pop that in as well. Okay, so my name is Deshay, and you say it like this, Deshay. And I'll just share a little bit about who I am for those of you who don't know. I'm an author, I'm a business and lifestyle design coach, and I'm a retreat leader. And I have a couple of websites. Sweet Spot Style is my umbrella brand, and under that I have Sweet Spot Style Your Business, which is really for entrepreneurial ladypreneurs who are usually online business owners, or they're thinking about transitioning into having their own business, or they are in a career transition. And I have an e-course, and it's the Sweet Spot Style Your Biz e-course, which it runs a couple of times a year around the year. Sorry, I might be a little bit nervous because a lot of people signed up for this one, so I should probably just stop and take a deep breath. You guys want to just take a deep breath with me? Okay, thank you so much for doing that and being patient with me. Okay, so Sweet Spot, I just thought I would give you an idea of what that is before we jump into today's presentation. So the Sweet Spot is really about consciously creating a life, business, or home that reflects your true essence, your values, your dreams, and who you aspire to be. Isn't that beautiful? Don't we all want that? I love that, because I really think it's all about, we are all born with this deep desire to express something. And it comes out in different ways. It can come out in our career, in our personal style, or in our home. But we're born with this desire to express who we are. And so that's really what the Sweet Spot is about. It's expressing who you are in these different ways. But today what we're going to focus on is how to upgrade your lifestyle and to manifest unexpected financial abundance with ease. And I just love everything about this. I think that it's really important to, when you're thinking about how you want to design your life, that you focus on your lifestyle. Anyway, that's how it's worked for me. And so today it's really going to be a lot about my personal experience and what's worked for me after trying lots of different techniques over the past 10 years and probably reading every single personal development book that exists and wealth books. And what it all boils down to for me is creating a lifestyle that fits who I am, that creatively expresses who I am and my values, that matches my values. And through that, I've learned techniques around how to manifest unexpected financial opportunities and other opportunities for growth within my business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so I thought I would just tell you a few of my wins when I was looking over my vision book. These were some of the things that came out, and I wanted to, this is a little bit tricky because I believe we manifest everything. So to say that I manifested some unexpected abundance is true, but I was trying to kind of dissect it a little bit so that for you, so that you kind of understand the definition of what I'm saying by unexpected financial abundance. So these things here are really kind of things that I had expected, I was looking for, and I was working for, you could say. I was hustling for, I put in a lot of effort and action towards writing my book and marketing my book and getting my book published and all of that stuff, and getting clients and doing webinars and all the stuff, Facebook ads. So there's those things that I put in a lot of effort for, and these were sort of the results of that. So I got my second full year. This is my second full year of working on my own. So that means that I haven't received a paycheck from anyone else in 2 years. I'm starting my third year of business. So I'm really excited about that. That kind of says a lot about where I am and who I am. And I filled my first international retreat this year. So I'm going to be leading my second one in February. That happened in 2005. Sold 10,000 copies of my first book, which I can't totally take credit for all that because I do have a publisher and a whole sales team, but I'm definitely happy about it. I had several paid speaking and writing gigs, which is very important, the paid part, because I had been doing quite a few speaking and writing gigs. Maybe I was getting paid a little bit or a stipend or something, but this year was a little bit better for being recognized as being paid as a speaker and writer. And I also launched my first e-course that I mentioned, Sweet Spot Style Your Biz. Okay, so unexpected wins that came with ease. So again, this is stuff that came sort of without any major action or any major despair or hustle. And when I added this all up, because this is not included in my income, I added up and I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff, this random stuff that I have manifested really equals over $30,000 in value. So that doesn't mean that I got an extra $30,000 in the bank. It means that some of it was cash and some of it came through these beautiful trades. People that I respect, admire, and want to spend more time with approach me and say, hey, you want to do a trade? And I've done trades with those people. And also just random things that always seem to happen to me. My friend calls me Magic Woman because I'll call him every time something like this happens. I'll call him and I'll say, guess what happened? So like crazy insurance checks. I don't know why, but the insurance company is constantly trying to give me money. So we had a little leak in our sink and water got on the floor and my husband had to clean it up and he was like, call the insurance company. So I called the insurance company and they're like, okay, we'll send somebody out. Well, they didn't send somebody out for a whole week. And meanwhile, we had cleaned it up and I totally forgot about it. It was a done deal in my head. It was like, okay, well, the water's clean, done deal. But the insurance guy popped over one day. He had called me, but I was on the phone. I was working with the client and I was in my pajamas and he comes over and he was like, I was just in the neighborhood. Let me just submit a claim. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have to pay my deductible. And he was like, this will be more than your deductible. We'll take care of your deductible. So anyway, to make a long story short, I was not even encouraging him to do anything. And he did it anyway and sent me a check. And that check helped pay for some of the stuff that's on the other side, which allowed for, international trips. So basically that check that I got for the insurance, I hope this isn't bad to say this online, but I did not use it to clean up the water because it was cleaned up and I felt like my floor didn't need to be redone. We just redid my floor last year. So anyway, I used the money to pay for my husband's trip. We have 3 big international trips coming up this year. And so I paid for the trip he's going on. He's going on a 3-week trip to Ireland and Portugal. And so I was just like, okay, that's going to pay for that. I've also used some of the stuff on the left to pay for high-end coaching, beautiful clothes. I love clothes. Unlimited organic meals. I happen to have a client who is the owner of one of my favorite cafes. So we did a trade. So me and my family can eat there as much as we want. Now, let me tell you, this isn't that random because the things on the right, the trips, the coaching, the clothes, and the food, those are all things that I have called for in my intention. So let me just pause there. All of those things were things that I love and that I intentionally have asked for, but did not say how I wanted them. So whereas, maybe I could have said, I need to make $100,000 this year so that I can afford to do all these things. I didn't really say that because honestly, when I put it a dollar amount of how much I want to earn each year, a quarter, it kind of doesn't work for me. So instead, as I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, I say the things that I want, the outcome of what the money would do for me. And so some of the things that are the outcomes on the right are what I'm manifesting, but not necessarily through the way I thought it would be, through my work. So some of my work has, of course, brought awesome stuff. And some of it has just been this, what I would say, manifested stuff from unexpected sources through ease. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? I'm just going to check the chat here. Jody from Maine, and before that, Vermont. Hi, Jody, love you. Sarah's also lived in Brattleboro. Happy New Year, love you guys. Thanks so much for showing up. Okay, so here, let me give you another example of an ease story, because probably you're here because you want to know how to do this with ease, right? So this is one of my favorite stories, and this just happened, within the month. So basically, I wrote this first book on home decor that came out last year. And I ran out of copies, so I ordered some copies, and they came to my home, and I was looking at them in the kitchen, and my daughter was sitting there, and she was like, "Hey, Mom, I think you should write another book." And I was like, "Oh, really? What should I write it on?" And she said, "You should write it on home decor." And I was like, "That's a good idea. Thanks, Isla." And then I thought about that, and I was like, maybe it is kind of time to write another book. But it was just sort of a thought, like I wasn't really planning on it for 2016 because I was going to really focus on building up my e-courses and my clients and retreats and all that, But then the next day, someone hired me to do an interview for this local magazine, and I went out to my friend Robin MacArthur's house. Some of you may know her, and I interviewed her. And I was interviewing her about her home and her sweet spot in her home. And we had such a good time. We were sitting there drinking tea in her beautiful house, which I just adore. And I adore her. And so inspiring just to be around people like Robin. She's also an author, and she's a musician. And she's crafted this lifestyle around who she is. And I just feel energized and inspired by that work. And I said to myself, subconsciously, I love this. I want to be doing more of this. I wish I could do more of this. I want to get paid more for this, that kind of thing. And then right after that, I went to see my publisher to drop off some books, and I was talking to her and didn't even think about it, had not planned it at all. And I just said, do you need any other books written? And she said, because sometimes they do just hire people to write books. And she said, well, I would always want to work with you. What are your topics? And I started listing off some stuff that was, just one of these random ideas. I'm a multi-potentialite. I'm a multi-passionate person. So I have all these ideas. I start, spewing off all these ideas around business or career. And she was kind of quiet for a minute, and she was like, what about home decor? What about doing something on, sweet spot in your office or your creative space? And I thought, oh my God, of course. Yes, of course. Like, that is absolutely perfect. I would absolutely love to do that. And I felt energized and I felt excited. And then I felt a little strange, like not stupid, but a little bit like, why didn't I say that first? Because within that 24 hours, my daughter had just recommended that I write a home decor book, and that excited me. I was just minutes before thinking to myself that I wanted to spend more time interviewing people in their homes. And then, but when she asked me what did I want to write the book about, I didn't say home decor. So I just wanted to tell you this story because often we overlook the thing that we really most want to do. Why? I really don't know. Part of it is I think that we think it's supposed to be hard because we're taught that we have to work really hard to get success. And we overlook the things that we're naturally inclined to do, that we're naturally good at, that opportunities come our way with ease. We overlook it. And I know I try to make it really complicated. So thank goodness that my publisher knows me well enough and that I had written the first book on home decor, which makes sense that I would write the second one on something to do with that, you know. So that was just so easy. And I said, yes. I said, yes, let's do it. And then, of course, when I came home, I started thinking to myself, oh, should I focus on this or should I do this? And I started, making it more complicated. And then I really just had to continually come back and remind myself, that's synchronicity. Those three things that happened in a row within a very short period of time, that's synchronicity to me. So that's how you can, because all of this stuff is pretty abstract. What I'm talking about with intention and calling in abundance, it's very spiritual. It's a spiritual practice for me. It's very opposite of what we're taught with the critical brain of, make a goal, do these things to get the goal, never stop until you get the goal. With this, it's more of like, here's my intention of what I feel like I want my life to look like. And then you're kind of letting go of how it's going to happen. And you're setting kind of a plan and you're taking inspired action, but then you're sort of just looking for the universe or God to give you a sign of, if you're on the right track. And so that's what I had to do with this second book deal, is I had to just listen to my intuition, listen to my heart, feel where the energy was, and stop making it complicated and just say yes. All right. I see that I've been disconnected from the chat, so I'm just going to reconnect here. You guys still there? All right, let's keep moving. So I've come up with some tools so that you can create your own unexpected financial ease. Okay, so these are the things that I use in my life to help me accomplish what we're talking about, right? So I've already talked a little bit about the intuition and synchronicity one. The other things are the word of the year, which gives you focus, your vision book, which gives you focus, clarity, and kind of documenting your reality, your dream to reality, meditation, which we're going to go over, intention, and mantras. Okay, so 2015, my words of the year were ease and financial abundance. Did you have a word of the year? Tell me in the chat. Love to know for 2015 or 2016. So I don't know what my word is really for 2016. After this webinar today, later on, I'm probably going to do some work and some meditations around what that should be. But ease and financial abundance was so good that I don't know if I want to change it. There's some things that I want to do around national growth and just getting more in the media, more visibility and that kind of thing. But I'm telling you, ease and financial abundance that's a pretty good one. And, looking back, I think it's definitely worked. Okay, so the second tool is the vision book, and I have a whole webinar on the vision book. But so briefly, I'll just say that every year I just get a little notebook. I go downtown to Everyone's Books. You can go wherever you want, grab a cheap book, and I decorate it how I want, and I write my word of the year. So you can see there that picture's from 2014, and I write my word of the year, faith. And so that was my 2014 was my was that my first year in business? Yeah, that was my first full year in business. And so I knew that I was going to need faith to get through that year, because I figured that was the year that I would probably make the least amount of money after having, my full-time job in academia and then start my own job, my own career, doing this life coaching stuff and online business. I knew that it was going to take me a while to grow. And so I knew I was going to need faith. And let me tell you, that was a hard one to have. Faith as your word of the year is hard because basically, yeah, it's just hard because you don't know. you don't know what's going to happen. So you're constantly just hoping and praying and having faith that it's going to work out with no concrete evidence. So I'm kind of glad that one's over with, but maybe you need faith in your life right now. So anyway, the vision book, that's, I basically have one for the whole year, and I write, all kinds of stuff. So visual inspiration, you'll see there's a dress on the side. I put clothes, I put home decor. I don't know if you get magazines. I get quite a few magazines, and I don't like clutter. So what I'll do is I'll go through the magazine and pick my favorite stuff, and I'll sometimes cut out little bits and pieces and stick it in there. My business card, I put thank you notes from clients. I put love notes from my daughter, my family. I put her drawings, and I also write my ideas. So if you have a lot of ideas in your head, it causes brain fog. And with brain fog, it's so hard because it feels like you have a million ideas. You really don't. You probably have 5 or 6 that are spinning through your head constantly, which makes it feel like it's so much more. So if you write them down, it's like you're processing them, you're getting them out. And over time, because I've been doing this for 10 years now, I can go back and I can look at my vision books and I can see a pattern. And that's how I know now for sure that I'm on the right track, that I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, because I can see, there's been threads of this for years that have come about, and I can see it. And also, it's great because I say thank you when I get something. So I'll put my hopes and dreams in there. And when it comes, and it almost always does, then I'll say thank you and I'll put the date. And that's really important because you can go back and if you're in fear, which I get into still too, even after all this, I still get into fear sometimes. I can go back and I can be like, you know what? No, it's okay. I can continue to have faith. I can continue on this path. I know I'm going to be okay. I've always been taken care of in the past, and more than taken care of. Okay, so that's what I use my vision book for. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Megan MacArthur, so pleased to spend time with you today. Can't figure out how to chat, but I am here. Yes, you are. Well, I see you. This is how you do it, Megan. Awesome. Okay, so the next tool is the 3-part meditation. And, all of the tools that I'm giving you today are awesome. This one, if you only pick one, this one's probably the best. And I do this almost every single day. I usually do it. So I'm not a morning person at all, but I get up, I get my daughter ready for school, I take her to school, and then I come back, and sometimes I go back to bed, you guys. I go back to bed, and it feels like such luxury. It feels so good to be alone in my bed with my down comforter, and it's cold outside, and it just feels like heaven. And that's also part of my lifestyle, like doing it feels good and not feeling guilty about it. Now, I do feel guilty about it. I admit I still feel guilty about it, but I do it anyway because it feels good. But then the way I transition from, making myself get up out of that cozy bed and start my work day at home is I do this 3-part meditation. So, right in bed, I'll sit up in bed and I'll roll my shoulders back, close my eyes, and I set it on my iPhone for 5 minutes for each one. You can grow it up to 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll do 15 minutes, but most of the time, daily, I just do 5. And even right before this webinar, I just did this meditation in order to kind of calm me down and get me grounded. So for the first 5 minutes, it's clear and let go. So when you're breathing in your nose, you're saying the word clear, and you're breathing out through your nose, let go. Now, this is just a fabulous thing to do. It sounds so easy and so common sense. It's amazing because it clears your brain out. And also, as you're saying the word clear, you can imagine that you're actually detoxifying the negative thoughts or just the thoughts from your cells in your body. So that air and the oxygen is actually cleaning out any toxicity in your body, in your mind, because negative thoughts and overwhelm and stress, as we know, it starts in the mind and it gets locked into your cells. It gets locked in your body. It causes disease. It causes death. And it causes anxiety. All the things we want to stay away from, right? So just this part of clear and let go is a fabulous way to reset. You can also do this at night before bed. It's a great one to help you go to sleep. I see that Lynn here, the 3-part meditations is my favorite. Clears your head, gets you refocused, and brings peace and clarity. Yeah, a lot of my clients love this meditation. The second one is on gratitude. So again, you set your timer for 5 minutes and you just focus on gratitude. Now, honestly, I could go forever on gratitude because I'll just start thinking about my daughter and I can go for an hour on gratitude. You know, thank you for her health. Thank you for her presence in my life. Thank you for her sparkly smile. Thank you for her energetic personality, you know, all these things. So one tip is kind of think about gratitude because gratitude brings abundance. So if there's something you're lacking in your life, like say, for example, it's your husband and your husband is getting on your nerves and he's not appreciating you and he's not showing you the love that you feel like you deserve in your life. So you could focus on gratitude for your husband. And by doing that, hope that, you know, maybe that turns around a little bit, or maybe that you just see the good things. You'll definitely see the good things. So if you're like, okay, well, for this gratitude practice today, I'm going to focus on how my husband takes out the trash every day and how my husband spends time with our kids and how my husband goes to work every single day, or how my husband doesn't, you know, isn't an alcoholic, you know, all the things that we take for granted. You could do that. So in my practice, I don't really map it out. I just start meditating and see what comes up, and I'll breathe in and I'll say I'm thankful for, or thank you for, and then as I breathe out, whatever that is. So sometimes that's my health, sometimes that's my actual clients, sometimes that's just my home. So it's also a preventative thing. So you can, you know, be grateful for the things you really do already have, not that you're trying to get more of, to almost like keep those things intact. So I feel like I'm overall a pretty healthy person. So I'll spend some time on being grateful that I am healthy. And I feel like that's like a preventative. It's like a vitamin so that I'm not going to get sick later. Okay, and the third one is abundance. And this one is really important for this webinar because we have a mantra that goes with abundance. And I think I have that here on the next slide. Yeah. So when you're concentrating on your abundance meditation, go ahead and take a second and write this one down. And this is what I say in my head over and over and over again as I'm meditating with the abundance practice. And it is, thank you for expected and unexpected financial abundance that comes in a healthy and safe way to me and my family. And of course, you can add your community there if you would like. And it's that simple. It's that simple. You can literally just ask for unexpected financial abundance. And then I always say in a healthy and safe way to me and my family, because in the first few years of manifesting, I was manifesting things through trauma and accidents and things that were painful to me and my health and my family. And so since then, you know, in the last, I don't know, gosh, probably at least 5 years, I haven't manifested in that way because I added this mantra after. So there hasn't been any bone breaks or fires or near disasters in our family that has given us financial abundance, because I'm like, I want the financial abundance, but I don't want to have to break my leg to get it, you know, which has happened. If you've been following me, you've probably heard that story. So that's it. Did you guys write that down? And here, let me see here, the chat. Marquette, your sound went off. Sound okay here. Can't figure out what's going on. So Marilyn, what you might want to do is refresh your screen. Just go to the top and refresh your screen and see if it'll come back on. Okay, so let's talk about intention. So I was talking to a client the other day about the difference between intention and goal setting. And goal setting is looking for a specific result. And with intention, it's more like stating your desire, and then you are taking action, you're taking inspired action, but then you're kind of allowing it to come however and whenever it may. So with a goal, you're really setting specific steps that you're going to do to make that goal happen, no matter what. It's like, I have to get this done, and it includes the how. With intention, it really doesn't include the how. It's more of like, I'm going to set this intention for my lifestyle based on my desires. As you can see, I see on the side I have one that's taken directly from my vision book. Calling in more beauty, grace, elegance to my home, business, and life. You know, so then I don't say, and I'm going to do this by, you know, looking at magazines every day, or by getting a second job so I can buy that pretty dresser, or whatever. It's just sort of, I set the intention. So I have a big intention in my life, which is basically to do work that I love and make money at it. That's kind of my overarching life intention. And then I'll have little intentions that I'll just pop in as well, like this one, the calling in more beauty. So your intentions can be very direct. They can be overarching. You may have several. It may be that you're looking for a job, and maybe your intention has to do with that right now in your life. So intentions morph and change with whatever circumstances you're in. Okay, so I'd like you to think about your focus for 2016. And here's what my focus is. Again, my overarching intention is always going to be to do creative work that I love and make money at it. And here's some things that I'm going to focus on in 2016. I'm definitely going to write my second book. I have a whole year to do it. That's another thing. I was like, I was going to focus on doing these e-courses. And she was like, you can have a whole year to do this. And I was like, a whole year? Last time I did it in 6 months, and I was working full time. So anyway, it just made it easy. Again, it made it easy so that I can do it. I'm planning on spending a month in Mexico in February. I'm going to lead my first life-transforming Luxe retreat. So, I led my first retreat last year, but this one is going to be a luxury retreat, which is new for me. And I'm also going to take my first luxury retreat. So I took the leap and I signed up for this amazing retreat in Italy in May with one of the people that I most admire in my field, which is Justina Blakeney, who is a stylist in LA. She's huge online. She's partners with all the big brands. And she styles spaces. She writes magazine articles. She's written a book, The New Bohemians. It was a bestseller, New York Times bestseller. So it's a luxury retreat. It's not cheap. It's in Italy. I have to get there. It's in a gorgeous place. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I encourage you also to take leaps. I mean, obviously, make sure you can pay for it. But, take these leaps of faith. Take these leaps and be around people that you admire, and allow yourself to imagine that you're in their league. Do you know what I mean? That's why I decided to sign up for that one. Also, an overarching thing for my business is to take, I want to take my business, I want to grow my business on a more national scale and have more visibility. And I've done really well with local stuff. I want to grow it bigger. Looks like I'm going to need to reconnect to chat. Okay. Also, I want to collaborate with bigger brands. That's another reason I'm doing that retreat with Justina, because she's really good at that. So if you're, think about what it is you want and who you need to support you, and then figure out how to work with those people, right? And of course, I'm going to continue calling in more ease and financial abundance into my life, because that works, right? Okay, so if you have a pencil or pen and a piece of paper, why don't you just jot down these questions? And it is, what do you desire most in 2016? I just told you some of the things that I desire. So what is it that you desire in your life or your business? Write it down. Feel free to share it in the chat. And also, how can you attract more ease into your own life this year? I gave you a bunch of tools. Which one of those tools do you think you're going to use? Pick at least one and decide to try that out. But which one is your favorite? Okay, so we're kind of getting to the new year. I'm going to ask for questions in a minute again, but I'd like you to remember these tips. Okay, one is you need to get focused. The way that you call things into your life, the way that you call in your abundance into your life, is to get focused on what it is that you truly desire. And then you need to stay focused on it. Hence, the vision book is a great tool for that. Then you need to really expect blessings. If you're telling yourself the story of, oh, I'm so unlucky, bad things always happen to me, I'm not surprised that I got into a car wreck, or whatever, just stop telling yourself those stories and start expecting blessings. Start saying, I'm so lucky. I say that all the time. Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh my gosh, I'm not even surprised that I got this check from the insurance company, because this stuff always happens. Didn't I just say that a minute ago? Didn't I just say this always happens to me? And because I keep telling that story, part of it is the law of attraction. It keeps bringing it back to me. So if you're in the pattern or the rut of saying bad things always happen to me, just stop saying that for a little while, even if it's just a game, and just pretend that you are lucky, and start saying you're lucky. Look for it, document it, and say thank you for it, and start telling that story. Again, so that's just what I said. Acknowledge your blessings. Have faith in the process. So because this is a faith-based kind of spiritual thing that I'm talking about. And it is different. It is probably different from what you're used to. So try it out. Okay, how are we doing here? You guys still here? All right. So if you feel like that message is just for you, and you feel like, yes, I want to do that, but I need support. Yes, I know that I have had, goals. I've had things that I've wanted to work for in the past. I've set my, January intentions. I've set my goals, my New Year's resolutions. And then what happens is, like, after a month, you just start to forget about it. Something bad happens. You get on the wrong track. Other things take your attention. And then what happens is it doesn't happen. And then you start feeling like it's never going to happen. Or you make a little bit of progress, but then there's a setback, and then you kind of give up. And it's discouraging. It's discouraging because you know what? This is what we're talking about doing, like going for your dreams, going for your deep heart's desire. It's not easy. I fully am aware that it is not easy. It is hard. It has been hard for me. It is getting easier, but it isn't that easy to declare your dream and go for it. It's risky, and it takes courage. And I really do believe it takes support. I have a whole support team. I'm part of a mastermind. I have a coach. I'm in a 9-month coaching program because I know that I need support doing this myself. So I've come up with a January special. Would you like to hear it? Okay, so here it is. So you know that I offer lifestyle coaching, and my normal rates for 3 months are $15.50, or if you do a payment plan, it's $5.99. So what I wanted to do is offer this special package where I'm only taking 5 clients for 6 months, and really reduce the price almost to half. So it'd be $1,800 for 6 months, or it would be $350 a month for 6 months. And I want a commitment. And I am looking for women who are really, 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 really ready for life transformation. I'm looking for women who have a project that they need support with for 6 months. That might be a book. That might be like a home transition. That might be a big decision that you have. That might mean that you are starting a business, or you want to go further in your business. But that you know that you have this kind of long-term goal that you're working towards, and you need continual support. You need someone to listen to you that can see the higher possibilities in your life and kind of push you towards that in a gentle way. But I do push. And you need somebody to hold you accountable to do what you say you're going to do. So that's basically what I do. And, you can go on my work page and you can read. If you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen that my clients get great results, and it's a great value. So if you're in that situation and you're like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for me, this is what I need, you won't find this offer on my website. You'll see that I have the normal $15.50 rate on my website, and that is available. If you just want to do that, if you want to do the 3 months, you can totally sign up for that. But I'm only going to be offering this one, the 6 months, at $1,800 this month, and as soon as the 5 people sign up, that's it. So why am I doing that? Partially because I felt like it, because I had this message in my heart that said the price, and it said the time, and I'm not going to argue with it. So it was literally, that's my intuition that told me to do it. And second, because I know that for my 3-month clients that want more and want to keep going with me, that it gets expensive paying $15.50 every 3 months. That gets pricey. And because sometimes you need continued support, so basically, that's why I'm doing it. And I might never do it again. I don't know. If I do it again, it probably won't be till later. And also because I love working with my clients, but I'm going to be trying to do those other goals that I told you about. I've got to write this book. I'm going to be gone for a month, and I have all this other stuff I need to do. So I want to really focus and really dive deep with 5 special people for 6 months this year. So let me know if you have any questions about that. And again, it's not online. So if you do want to do that, send me a note, Deshay@sweetspotstyle.com, and or we can hop on the phone if you have questions. I mean, basically, the way I work is we talk it would be, for the 6 months, it would be 12 sessions of one-on-one work, so that we would get on the phone, Skype, or meet in person for an hour twice a month. We would start off with a power hour, which is an hour and a half of going deep into setting the intention for what you want to do, getting really clear together on what you want to do for the next 6 months. And then, we work on that. So basically, we work on taking your dream or your goal, your intention to reality. And then we come up with inspired action steps that you need to take at the end of our call, our meeting. And then I expect you to do the work and report back to me and tell me how it went. So what happens most of the time is most people get some of the stuff done and then they don't get other stuff done. And if it's a pattern, then we start to look at why it's not happening. So why is it that you're not able to take this inspired action? What is it that you need to let go of? Is it that you need to let go of something, a material? Like you need to, if you have 2 jobs, quit one so that you have more time for the other thing. Is it that you're wasting time because you feel bad and you're watching too much TV? What can we do to make you feel better? So we really dig deep into like what's really at the core that's stopping you. And then I support you in that, and I hold you accountable. And then when you do good work, then I'm your cheerleader. So it's pretty awesome. What else? You also will get a bonus of anybody who's a VIP client, which is a one-on-one client, gets my e-course. So you'll get the 7-week e-course it's 6 weeks, that's 7 steps that goes through the whole process of taking your dream to reality. So you'll have that course as well. So that's that program. And then, of course, there's my retreat. I also have a retreat. The luxury retreat is starting January 31st. And I have 2 slots left. And I actually have a photographer coming now who's going to be taking headshots. So that's pretty awesome. I have a little video that I'm going to try to play here. And while this video is playing, tell me your thoughts. 2016.
First thing she helped me with before the workshop was getting the job that I wanted. And when she told me about it, I said, yes, right away. I want to go.
She really inspired to do something, to rethink twice and make a beautiful plan of your life.
Relaxing, very relaxing experience. And we did our workshops there. We got to talk, just sit around and talk with no distractions. I guess that would have been my favorite.
Helping each one of us to pursue what our dream is.
It's been great. I would definitely come back to another one of her retreats.
Okay, I just had to throw that in because I love that video and I wanted to give you a taste of what the retreat really is like. So I have 2 spots left. If you're interested, let me know. I do have payment plans and it's going to be amazing. It's in San Miguel de Allende, my favorite place on earth. It's a wonderful place to get inspired, resettle. We're going to be going over our year-long plan together, and you'll be getting, excuse me, power hours from me and lots more. So let me know if you have questions. So I am now going to see if I can get off screen share here and get back to the video. There I am. And so now, what questions do you have? Do you have any questions about what your intention should look like or what your word of the year should be? Let me know here. Looks heavenly, Jody. Jody, you should totally come. I would love for you to come. It's really a great group of women that come. It's only going to be 5 of us. We have our own master king size bed and bathroom. It's in a gorgeous luxury house that's really close to town, and it's just gonna. It's not like really busy. It's like we have a nice mix of being busy and doing fun stuff out in the town, exploring the town, and also just quiet time at home for us to get really focused, brainstorm together, and do some activities that help you get clarity, focus, and move forward. So it's really about upgrading your lifestyle by being in a beautiful place and upgrading your business. Or if you don't have a business, that's okay. It's really about upgrading whatever it is that you need to in your life. That sweet spot is self-defined, so no judgment. Whatever it is that you want to improve, that's what we're here to do. Does look wonderful. Thank you, Mary. Gorgeous spot, Megan. I know you love to travel too. I know you love the warm. So do you guys have any questions, or tell me what your one action step after this webinar is going to be? Today is the first day of the new year. This is a good time to hit the reset button, let go of any challenges of 2015, and really look forward, look ahead. So I would like to end this with, unless you have more questions, I would like for you to tell me at least one thing that you learned from this webinar that you're going to carry over into 2016. One thing that you're going to do. Excuse me. And I'd like to hear from you. So let me know in the chat. And let's see. So I can see this being on my list for next year. Yeah, I think next year is going to sell out really fast because a lot of people are saying that. So I think some people need to think about it for a while. But if you're one of those people who are like, this is calling me right now, what's stopping you? What's stopping me? I actually saw the trip with Justina the year before on Instagram. I was following the girl who leads that trip, and I saw it. And my first reaction was like, oh man, I want to do that, and I can't do that. And then I just let it go. And then the second time I saw it this year, and I kind of said the same thing, because I'm already going to Mexico for a month, and Matt's going to Ireland and Portugal for almost a month. That's 2 big, international trips. And I was like, no, I can't do that. But then I was like, wait, I said that last year. I said that I wanted to go last year, and I said I was going to try to make it happen this year, and whatever, I'm going to make it happen. And then, of course, as soon as I signed up, then we got that insurance money. It paid off Matt's trip. It opened up funds for this trip, and that trip is, my Italy trip is already paid for. I mean, not my plane ticket, but the amount that I had to put in for the first payment is done. So, and it happened really fast. It was sort of like once I made the decision to do it, the universe came and made it easy for me once I decided I wanted to do it. Okay, so let's see here. Marquette, starting my vision book. Is the vision book webinar available online? I think that it's got a secret code on it. So if you want to just send me a message, I think that it's part of my course, that I can send you that. Okay, I can send you that, or part of it anyway. So just send me a note at Deshay@SweetSpotStyle with your email address, Marilyn, and I can send you that. And my first step, commit to the meditation daily. Yeah, that's a really good one, and keep it going for sure. And Mary, I'm going to figure out how to manage the financial commitment to take the 6-month coaching. Oh, wow, Mary, that would be awesome. So what I need to realize, my desire for 2016 to be a banner year for me. It is going to be a banner year for you, Mary. It is going to be a banner year for all of us. We just need to go ahead and make that decision and start taking the actions towards that. Set the intention now. And, if you want to do the coaching program, I know you can. And I know that you'll take action. You would be one of my ideal clients, because I love working with people who are multi-passionate, who have lots of ideas, and really you already know what to do, but you just need help processing it. You need help verbally processing it, and then you need to see it on paper, and you need a plan, and you need accountability. And I do not have all the answers. I do not tell my clients what to do, because everybody else is telling you what to do. We don't need people to tell us what to do. What we need is people to encourage us to look within ourselves and ask the right questions of what it is that we need to do, and be supportive of us and non-judgmental of us and fully loving of us, so that we can actually do that. So that's the kind of facilitator I am. I'm really a facilitator of your own dreams. So if that sounds good to you, then I want to work with you. And I know that's you, Mary. So anybody else listening, that's kind of the way I work. Let's see here. Susie, my first action step is to enact a 3-part mantra: believe, release, and focus. Yeah. You know, if you're watching this and you're like, that's nice, I've practiced intention, it doesn't work for me, it could be because you're not releasing any negative stories or beliefs that are locked into your body. So in the e-course that I have, the Sweet Spot Style Your Biz e-course, there is, I have a whole section on releasing negative beliefs. And one thing that you can do is just look up EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's this tapping thing that you do. I think it's Brad Yates, who I used to follow, and Denise Duffield Thomas, she talks about it too, from Lucky Bitch. But it's basically just this tapping series where you're kind of releasing these negative stories and you're verbally processing in it as well to release some stories in your body. So that's a good one, EFT. And then there's lots of different techniques that I can't go into right now, but if you want to talk to me about them, definitely send me an email. We can maybe do a little call and I can help you with that. So, oh yeah, Susie, love EFT. Yeah, it's funny because my mom, she is the one who told me about EFT, and I kind of dismissed it until I started seeing everybody doing it online. And now I do it occasionally. I do it for myself, and it works for some people and it doesn't for other people. But I think, it's also just reprogramming those negative thoughts and stories into something different, so it's really good if you have anxiety or if you're about to go on stage and you're nervous and you just need to change the focus. It's good to do that, right? Jody, focus, particularly the tracking it and think it, like being grateful for it, I think is what you're saying. I think that will enhance the focus. Focus and clarity. That's step number 1. You have to really know what it is that you want and then be okay with it and accept it. And I think that's the second step is something that sometimes we're not good at. Like, is it true? Is it possible for me to have what I want? It is. It is possible for you to have what you want. I think that's part of why we're here. We're supposed to have what we want, But there's so many messages that say that we can't, we shouldn't. And if we do, we should feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about doing the work that you love. It's a gift. It's going to be a gift to everyone else. If you're happy, then your family's happy. If your family's happy, the community's happy. It's really a trickle-down effect. I want everybody to do work that they love and be happy and upgrade their lifestyle, because then it just spreads the joy. It really does. Okay, well, I don't see any more comments here. So what I would like to do is say thank you so much for spending part of your New Year's Day 2016 with me. And I'd love to talk more with you. So if you have any questions, email me. We can set up a little time to chat. And make sure that you go back through this presentation. There will be a replay. So if you want to watch it again and you want to write down those steps, please be my guest to do that. Please promise me that you will take inspired action and that you will take one of those steps and do it. And let me know how 2016 goes for you. If you want to send me your intention, your word of the year, I love hearing from you. I want to support you. And when you accomplish your dreams, that means that we can all accomplish ours. So keep doing good work and keep living in your sweet spot. And until next time, Happy New Year. Bye, you guys.